Okay, so in the previous video, you learned how to multiply a fraction by a fraction. Today, you're going to learn how to multiply a whole number by a fraction. So just like we talked about in the other video, denominators do not need to be the same for multiplying, only for adding and subtracting. Okay, so let's say we have this as our problem. 3 times 2/3. Okay, we know that 3 is a whole number. So I need to draw 3 models to match those 3 wholes. Okay, those are my 3 wholes. Makes sense, right? Whole number 3, 3 wholes. The next step that you have to do is you need to split those 3 wholes into thirds, because that's what the denominator is. If this number was a 4, we'd split it into fourths. If it was a 5, we'd split it into fifths. Okay, so we need to split all 3 of these wholes 3 ways. All right, so we've got our 3 wholes split 3 ways. Now we need to shade 2 parts on every single whole. Two parts, 2 parts, 2 parts. Okay, so we started with our 3 wholes. We split our 3 wholes into thirds, and then we shaded 2 parts. All right, the goal here, you are always trying to make wholes. So whenever you multiply a whole number times a fraction, your goal is to make wholes, okay? And what I mean by that is I want to move some of these parts around so that I can make a whole. Right now, I have 2 parts filled. If I fill in one other part, I will have made a whole, right? So I'm actually going to take this part that's right here, and I'm going to move it up here. I'm going to move it up there, and I'm going to shade it in. If I moved that part, is it still there? No, it's gone. This part is gone. I moved it up there to make a whole. Do you see anywhere else that I can make a whole? I have 2 empty places here, 1, 2, and 1 empty place there. That's right. I can take this and move it down here. And I made a whole, which means if I moved it from here, it's gone. And there was never one there to begin with. So how many holes did I make? I made 1, 2 holes. Do I have any parts shaded left in this one? I do not. So my answer is 2. I had 2 holes left. So remember, whenever you are multiplying a whole number times a fraction, you start by drawing the 3 holes, just like we did. I split them into the denominator, which was thirds. And then I went ahead and I shaded 2 parts of each whole. Then my goal was to make a whole. So I took this shaded part and moved it up there to make 1 whole. And I took this shaded part and moved it down here to make 1 whole, which meant eventually I had nothing left here, which left me with only 2 holes. All right, continue practicing at home.